We saw how Scala code compiles into 2 byte code class files instead of one. We'll see the details of that. But before that, let's write a simple program in Java and convert it into Scala and see what happens. I'll be creating a program about apples. So notepad. Yes. So this is a basic hello world program in Java. The class name is the same as the file name, and public void static main, that is the entry point, and we have these arguments. We're not using it here. We are just printing hello apples. Let's say I want to instantiate a few apples. Some are red color and some are green color. Let's write something like that. So we are done creating red apple and green apple. Let's say I want to do something more. I want to count the number of apples that are present all over the world. So whenever I instantiate an apple, I go ahead and increase that count. I can create some global variable somewhere else, but one quick and easy way to do is we can add static variables. So I have defined two static things. One is static variable and one static function. How this static is different from this normal variable is when I define this red apple, this it will I pass the color, and this color is specific to this instance. So red apple dot color would be red and green apple dot color would be green. But in case of static, we'll have only one variable across set across all the instances. So it won't be accessed through instance, it will be accessed through class itself. So instead of doing red apple or green apple dot get count, we'll do apple dot get count, and this function in turn gets the count, that is also a static variable. So that is more like class thing rather than instance thing. And let's see how it should work here. When this, okay, let's do count equals 0. So initially count should be 0 and we should print 0 here. When I instantiate red apple, the count is increased by 1, and when I instantiate green apple, the count is increased by 1 for all the instances of apple, all the class, all the apple things. So at the end I should have 2 here. Let's compile using Java. Okay, I made some typo here. Okay, it's hello apples. So it's hello apples 0 and 2 as we expected it to be. Let's see what bytecode we have. We have hello apples dot class and apple dot class. That is one bytecode per class. So let's see, we are interested in apple dot class. JD I think it doesn't give the correct path. Now we got it. This is the bytecode for Java class that we wrote. Let's write the same thing in Scala and see what are the differences. Yes, please create this, and again this is simple hello world in Scala. This the class name is the same as the file name, and we have div main, that is the entry point, and we have arguments. We have we print this hello apples from Scala. Let's create the same file, same class. So we wrote apple class, and we can easily instantiate a red apple and green apple. This is more concise than Java, just to write a simple class, as you can already see here. But the static thing is a little bit tricky. We don't have static keyword in Scala, so we have this concept of object. We can create one object with name, with same name. Let's see how we can do the same thing here. So this is how we define a function here. We write def get count, and this is the data type to return, and in here this is the definition, and we don't need to return here. We could write that is optional. We could optionally write this semicolon, but it is more concise to write it like this. The last line that is executed will be returned by Scala, so we don't need to write this return statement. So we want to increase the count every time we instantiate this variable, instantiate this class. So we are done. We have written equivalent of the same thing here. Oops, I forgot to print ln. So now we are done. Let's see. We'll delete other class files. And see, we have the same thing. Scala compiler, hello apples scala.scala. Okay, this is string and not string. Yeah, let's see what we have got. We got 4 classes: apple $class, apple.class, hello apple scala $class, and hello apple scala.class. So let's run this. Just to see that it works. So let's see the same thing. JD UI. Let's see apple.class. So let's see there the dollar one, the one which has dollar, the one which has dollar here in the end, that is that belongs to this object. So if there is a code in Java that has static keyword, that can be generally written into this object thing, and this object is called companion object, and this class is called companion class. Companion class and object, they have the same name. This object this object and this class, they are not companion object, but they are not companion of each other, but this class apple and object apple are companion class and companion object. So they share some things. We'll get into details later. The object things that are there in this one which has a dollar. Let's see the get count. That is the one interesting here. Get count we have written in object, so it's here, and it's a bit redundant because it has already given a count that is accessor for this private int, and anyways we just wanted to see that this get count method actually comes in this dollar file. And let's see the file without dollar. and it should have this constructor class defined here, and here it is the constructor class. So anything that is static, it will actually have a reference to this apple dollar, and that static things are defined in apple dollar